If you are experiencing foundation issues, get a free estimate from Ox Foundations.
There's been so much talk in recent days about the I-20 59-mile long shutdown for a year. I believe there's been more talk in our local community about Highway 280 in Childersburg. Tom Roberts, CEO of the Greater Coosa Valley Area Chamber of Commerce, joins us this morning. And Tom, you just went to the horse's mouth and found out some stuff.
I did. You keep hearing rumors about this, that, and the other. Anthony Cook is a local native, and he is over the project. Building the bridge, replacing the bridge, and all the changes that are taking. So I just picked up the phone and I called him. I kind of took him off guard. He said, yeah, I figured people would want to know, but I didn't know how to tell them. I said, well, I got that down.
The mouth of the South right here can do it.
But it's fixing to get a little bit on the crazy side. They have gotten to the point where it's just about time any day. Now, it could happen today, but with the forecast, I kind of doubt it. It's probably going to be Thursday or Friday. The exact moment is still up in the air. It depends on a few things, but they're going to be shutting down from 280 back about 1,000 feet of the Childersburg-Fayetteville Highway, or the Fayetteville-Childersburg Highway, however you want to say it. And what that's going to mean, the only direct detour that's going to be mandated is the traffic for big trucks. If you're trying to get to Fayetteville, you're going to have to go all the way down to the Sylacauga-Fayetteville Highway and take that direction.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's a toughie. They have done some repair work on the Flagpole Mountain Road, and it's a lot better than it used to be, and it'll be redone once all this is done because they're expecting more traffic. But they don't want the big trucks on that road, and they're going to enforce it strictly. It's a little tight couple of turns in there, and they don't want the big trucks on the road messing it up. So local traffic going toward Fayetteville, a lot of it will be diverted down there. It's not a direct detour. They're not making direct detours as in mandating that you go someplace particular. For other local traffic, there are other ways from Flagpole Mountain back this direction. You've got what do you call that, Grove Park. You've got on the other end the Sadie Lee area. And a couple of others, they're marked that you're going to have to make a turn with signs on the other side down toward Fayetteville coming back toward Childersburg. So just find the route that works best for you and your circumstances, where you're going, what time you have to leave. These are the kind of things you want to go ahead and take into consideration right now, because when it happens today, tomorrow, the next day, it's going to put you between a rock and a hard place if you're not ready for this. They say that part will take about a month as they come over the Highway 280 portion of that intersection.
So that 1,000 feet, does that go into that residential area there?
I hadn't marked it off, but 1,000 feet isn't very far.
Okay.
We see a lot of those 1,500 feet signs, and that's not that far. Yeah. So it's just, but they have to close that part off to go across the road.
Where are those big trucks going now?
All the way down to Sylacauga, to Fort Williams and the Fayetteville Highway. They will take the right there and go on down into Fayetteville.
You know, there's a lot of traffic on that Childersburg-Fayetteville Highway. You may not think about it, but
absolutely.
It is.
When you try to turn left from the top of the hill coming from downtown, you realize it, because you have to wait for some to go right, some to come across, some to go left, and there's a lot of traffic, and that's going to have to be diverted someplace else. But again, the only direct detour is going to be for the big trucks. Local traffic, it's kind of pick your poison.
Find your way, right?
Find your way. And above all, schedule a little bit of extra time. That's vitally important, so that you can handle whatever flow problems you run into, and there are going to be some. When you have that much traffic from one road going other directions, splitting it up into different outlets is going to help, but it's still going to be a lot of heavy traffic, and you're going to have to schedule extra time. You're going to have to be extra careful because it's a confusing time, and about the time you get used to that, boom, that part's going to open back up again, and things are going to get crazy again when they move 2 lanes of traffic of the current traffic over to the new section. Then they'll work on the middle section. Now, Anthony told me, I'm still trying to scratch my head and figure this one out. He says that the 280 intersection will remain open and the light will happen. Now, how much of that's going to have to be diverted from or to First Street 76 on one side and the Fayetteville-Childersburg Highway on the other, that remains to be seen. I didn't fully comprehend exactly what that's going to be, but this portion of coming across the intersection there with the new portion of the bridge and road is going to take them about a month. They said give or take a week or so, depending on how well the weather cooperates and how much work they can get done. Then you'll move 2 lanes of traffic over. They'll work on the middle section. When that's done, they'll move over to the far section closer to downtown Childersburg. It's going to create some issues, but nothing like I-2059 through Birmingham. It's not just shutting it down and you got to go someplace else, period, end of discussion. That's not what's happening here, unless you happen to drive a big truck going toward Fayetteville or any of the industry down in that direction. It's but they have other routes that they can take as well, down Gene Stewart Boulevard to those places. So it's going to be difficult, but nothing that we can't manage. And they still claim that fall is going to be the time that they get through completely. So I'm anticipating the buildup of the second section there and the third is not going to take that long.
Obviously, it doesn't sound like it. A lot of more exciting things happening in Childersburg as well as far as growth is concerned.
Right now, we've got a handful of businesses in the area that are already open that are just trying to settle in and get their equilibrium straight so that they can set a grand opening and ribbon cutting. And then we've got a handful of others, some service industries, some service businesses, some retail businesses that are in the works, other things that are going on. So there'll be more to come. This is just the next wave. But you've got First Street Pharmacy, that's Jennifer Staples. That is inside Piggly Wiggly in Childersburg, and boy is she excited. She's meeting and greeting everybody that comes through. It's already open. We have Fresh Off the Boat with Anthony Latino. He had to open and sold everything he had, make a quick trip down to Louisiana as if that can happen overnight and come back the next day and do it again. But he's trying to get a good gauge on what he needs and what's the best method of timing of everything. But
now, where exactly is it located?
Okay, remember the old Allen's stop right there on Highway 280? That's where it is. They have the Cajun P&D.
Is that across from Mama Ree's? Is that a different one?
Yes, that's across from Mama Ree's. It's P&B Cajun Market. That's a little bit of extra influence from Anthony. He's got a lot of the spices and mixes and rices and other stuff inside there. Now, as far as the fresh seafood is concerned, he's got a little building with a big canopy in front of it that he'll be selling from. Don't have a means to carry as much as you want to buy. He's got ice chests and ice cubes ready to go. But that is Highway 280 in Oak Grove. It's 37730. 37730 for you GPS capable folks. That'll take you right there. Also on Plant Road, just as you come around the corner off of Highway 280 past the pit stop, there's a right turn. There's a little strip mall right there, and that's it. She's in the first building. On the right, it's Massage Outfitters. Her name is Brittany, and I just lost her last name and didn't write it down for myself. You know how that works. That's good. But she's excited to be bringing her business over here from the Harpersville area. She is a certified massage therapist, and she's going to be working with doctors and chiropractors and others in the area to provide those services. So she's excited to be here. Her and her husband are making plans right now to get moved over here to live. So she is excited and committed to being here, and it's going to take a little while to grow. This is not something that everybody is used to, but I'm looking forward to getting my time on the table with my back issues.
The older you get, the more you like it.
I'm pretty good at figuring out ways to sit crooked to keep the pain from being a big problem. Well, that creates other painful problems when the muscles start acting up. And she assures me that, in fact, she spent a little time with me explaining the process with her charts and figures and things up there, where the pressure points are and what we need to work on and that sort of thing. Quite professional. So those three, I'm hoping to get dates, specific dates set for those ribbon cuttings this week, and probably have them in the next week or so. Got to fit them all in, and then there's another round coming. We've got a couple of businesses already open, 4 that I'm aware of, and at least 3 more behind that are in the process of getting their buildings ready. So it's a banner time. A lot of positive things are going on. We should be hearing some more news from downtown before too long through the Commercial Development Authority, the mayor, and the city council. So that's exciting. Now, also exciting to me is our annual chamber banquet. It's coming up the evening of Thursday, March the 7th, 6 p.m. We have confirmed that it will be at CACC. We're working with several restaurants and catering operations to figure out who's going to be feeding us, but we'll have an update on the state of the cities of Childersburg and Oak Grove, and have some musical entertainment from Teresa Yeager. So it's going to be a fine time. But to make it all worthwhile, we also hand out awards. There's for a community nonprofit. A lot of different things can fit into that category. Last year's winner was Alabama Childhood Food Solutions. So that's the kind of place. There are churches, there are civic organizations, and others throughout the greater Coosa Valley area that would be eligible. Got a Business of the Year, Industry of the Year, Civic Employee, which is the City Employee of the Year, and things like that. But the big one is going to be our Hall of Fame inductee. Already have one pretty good nominee. That's kind of a holdover. We missed the deadline and didn't get the paperwork last year, so we've got one holdover from last year, but I'm expecting in the next week or so, because time is running short. A lot of folks like to wait until the last minute. Well, it's the last minute, folks. Get those nominations in. I'm not sure if it's up there right now, but it will be shortly after you see this on our Chamber Facebook page and our Chamber website for information about that, the forms that you can download and fill out, or you can stop by the Chamber and pick one up, or fill it out while you're there. But get those in before January runs out on us, and as we know, the calendar, the older we get, the faster the calendar moves. But also, besides our local industries, American Metals Group, New Steel, Resolute, Forest Products, they're all taking applications and trying to add to their workforce or replace people that are retiring in Resolute's case. So some very good jobs available out there, but there are a couple of other opportunities that have come up. We've got a couple of more days for the E911 Center in Winneboro. They're going to be hiring some public safety communications people. That covers a wide variety of things, and they'll explain the whole thing. They have dates and times. They've had it the last 2 days. They've got it 2 more days, today and tomorrow. I'll have those posted on the Facebook page and our website if they're not already up there shortly. But those are not jobs; those are careers that you can get involved with. Now, also talked with a lady from the Census Bureau, and they're getting ready to gear up for census takers. I did that back when well, let's just say I was a little younger in 1980, but it was a lot of fun. And she put the hard press on me to come back and do it again. I said, I'm not that young anymore, and as fun as it sounds, I'm a little too busy, but we can help you find some folks. But those are a couple of big things out there that if you're looking for employment, something of a shorter term basis, a year or so, that's the Census Bureau. Maybe a little bit longer, depends on exactly when they start, but that information again will be on our Facebook page and our website coming soon. Sent it out in the chamber newsletter yesterday for members. Give them a little bit of a head start. But
and not only is all of this positive happenings in the Childersburg area, but more traffic from other schools as the Talladega County Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament ongoing throughout this weekend.
Absolutely. I knew you were going to get to that. We're one of your sponsors for the live coverage of the finals. Now, just a question for me, is that going to be both the boys' final and the girls' final? Or y'all there? Both great. We have some top-notch teams, I think that, and the best part of it all this year is we won't have Sylacauga and Talladega knocking each other out somewhere along the line. So they're in different classifications in different regions now, so that makes for some exciting time. But
and it's a good thing that
quality of basketball, and it's all taking place at Childersburg High School.
That's right, and that means more people, maybe more eyes to take a look at the downtown areas that are coming through and stuff like that as well.
There are things that are starting to happen, and it's nice that we were hoping for and maybe even expecting the new Cup of Grace to help kick things into another gear, and they have, not just for the downtown area but for other areas as well. People are excited about investing in the greater Coosa Valley area, Childersburg in particular, and we're happy for that. We've got some infrastructure needs. I think that the day is coming when all the way from the Coosa River on past Pinecrest School in Sylacauga, we're going to see just about wall-to-wall business out there if we take care of our things. So one thing that a lot of people miss is that it's not just our communities in and of themselves. We are totally and completely surrounded by a bunch of smaller communities that actually provide not just a few thousand, but hundreds of thousands of people that depend on the 280 corridor in those communities that reside there, Childersburg, Oak Grove, and Sylacauga. So the more we have, the more they'll come, the longer they'll stay. And if we take advantage of some of the tourist opportunities along the way, we can add even more folks coming to town. So let's keep getting busy.
All right, Tom, always a pleasure. Thanks for being here, and to see you again next Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Tom Roberts of the Greater Coosa Valley Area Chamber of Commerce here on Daybreak Live. More after this.